This summer, veteran defenseman Chris Tanev faced one of the biggest dilemmas of his career as he entered the free agent market. After 14 years in the NHL, most of them with Canadian teams, he had a different experience with a brief stint with the Dallas Stars, where he enjoyed a sports environment without state income taxes. However, when signing a new contract, Tanev chose to return home, committing to a 6-year, $27 million deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. This choice surprised many, especially considering the financial benefits Texas could offer. After all, who wouldn't want to benefit from earnings without the burden of state taxes? But Tanev had his reasons. Speaking with the media, he explained that his connection to Canada and his family roots weighed much more heavily. "I played in Canada for 14 years. I'm from here and my wife's family is close. Also, there is a tax when you move from Canada to become an American citizen. There are many factors involved," Tanev said. "It's interesting to consider. How important are location and family ties when making such significant decisions?" Many fans might relate to this situation, as often, choosing a place to live or work involves much more than just financial matters. For Tanev, the Dallas experience, while interesting, didn't give him enough time to establish a tax residence in the U.S., which made his decision clearer. What also influenced his choice was the desire to play for a competitive team. Tanev made it clear that he didn't want to leave Dallas just to join a team that wasn't focused on winning. "That's very important. I didn't want to leave for a place where the priority wasn't winning," he said. The Maple Leafs, one of the league's most promising teams, certainly presented an attractive offer not just financially but also as a real opportunity to compete for championships. Tanev's contract structure, with $21 million in signing bonuses, $5 million of which is this season, also provided financial security that's hard to ignore. He'll see immediate results, which is crucial for a player at his stage in his career. So, what do you think of Tanev's decision? Would you also prioritize family ties and the chance to play for a competitive team over simply seeking the best financial contract? With so many changes in the NHL landscape, it's crucial to consider all personal and professional aspects when making decisions. Let's discuss. What would you do if you were in his place? Potential trade places Ross Colton with the Maple Leafs. What do you think? In the NHL rumor mill, trade talks have been buzzing, and one name that has stood out is Ross Colton. Recent rumors suggest that the talented forward, a Stanley Cup champion with the Colorado Avalanche, could be the newest addition to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Colton, who was acquired by the Avalanche from the Tampa Bay Lightning in the summer of 2023, had a notable season as part of the team that clinched the Cup in 2021 by scoring the decisive goal. With a 4-year contract worth $16 million, he became an intriguing asset but faces difficulties due to the tight salary cap of the Colorado team. Now, he might be on the brink of a new venture in Toronto. Do you think he would be a good fit with the Maple Leafs? A trade scenario on the Puckpedia platform, which allows fans to create trade scenarios, suggested a deal that would bring Colton to Toronto in exchange for Timothy Liljegren and a third-round pick in 2026. On paper, this trade seems beneficial for both sides. The Maple Leafs haven't made major moves in free agency regarding their forwards and have a considerable number of defensemen available. What are your thoughts on this trade? Would it be a good move for Toronto? Recently, Colton had a solid season with the Avalanche, racking up 17 goals and 23 assists in 80 games. His playoff experience would be a valuable addition to the Maple Leafs roster, potentially even slotting into the center of the third line, as he did in Tampa Bay. He would add a new and necessary dimension to Toronto's offense, especially considering the team's aspirations for the Stanley Cup. On the other hand, the Avalanche would receive Timothy Liljegren, a young defenseman who could help strengthen their defensive lineup. After adding Calvin DeHaan and Oliver Kylington in free agency, Liljegren could easily become a key piece. Having signed a 2-year extension worth $6 million, Liljegren has shown potential with 3 goals and 20 assists last season. How will the Avalanche balance these needs? Frank Saravalli, an NHL insider, mentioned that even though Colton has established himself as an important player for the Avalanche, the team's financial situation forced them to consider trades. He highlighted that Colton might be seen as an excess, on a roster already full of talent, especially with the need to free up space for the return of key players like Gabriel Landeskog. Do you think Colton is being underestimated in this equation? However, it's worth noting that Colton has a no-trade clause that could impact this deal. He would need to approve any trade, which could complicate matters. How do you view this dynamic? Should he agree to move to Toronto? Finally, the anticipation surrounds Liljegren's situation with the Maple Leafs, who has expressed his clear desire to stay with the team, stating that Toronto has always been his preferred place. For him, signing the extension was a great satisfaction. Would this desire also make him less willing to be involved in trade talks? What do you think about all of this? Your opinion matters. Share your comments and thoughts on the possible arrival of Ross Colton to the Toronto Maple Leafs.